What's up, my dudes? I'm going to make a video, the next one in my shitty series of common beginner mistakes that I observe people making and or my past self making that I think can easily be avoided. This one is not original at all, and you've probably heard it. I believe a lot of you probably haven't taken it to heart. You'll hear a lot of mantras repeated over and over, like strong man, strong back, strong man, big total, big back, big total, so on and so forth. But it's one of those things that, despite people knowing all of these phrases being told to them by their favorite powerlifters, it doesn't seem to actually play a large part in people's training. You'll also hear the common one I hear is like 1-to-1 pressing to pulling ratio. I think that's someone who doesn't have, like, a lot of people who say that I don't think are really looking at the application as it applies to chasing a maximal bench press in a session to session basis. That's very hard to achieve while keeping on top of a reasonable workout time. But on a week to week basis, I believe that is totally achievable, especially when you consider the fact that your upper back can recover from a frequency and training volume per week much higher than almost any muscle I can think of. Like, it is hard to overdo your lat work, your rear trap work, your rear delt work. Very hard to max out your maximum recoverable volume on those. That being said, you should kind of chase that, not to max it out completely, but to come a bit close to that. And one of the things you're going to run into is a lot of the heaviest overloadable lat exercises are going to be limited by your low back rather than what your lats can handle. Any barbell row is probably going to be the best example of this. And that's why I rely heavily on chest supported and vertical pulling motions to run up my back volume. And while I can't match it necessarily, and like if I've got a benching session, I'll do my best to hit a lot of back, but I might not hit a 1-to-1 pressing to pulling ratio. And I think where you can equal those out on a weekly basis comes down to extra frequency you can handle on your upper back work. Because I will do upper back anytime I bench, I will do upper back every time I deadlift. And if I need to, after mapping out the weekly volume, I will also do this on squat sessions, which is weird for me because I'm not really a multi-lift session kind of guy. And doing a lower body workout followed by upper back work really throws me off. But that being said, practical application of this is pull-ups are the staple. That being said, I remember when I first started, I was told by all these guys I respected, do your damn pull-ups, because that is an upper back exercise. It's not going to tax your low back. You just need to do more and more and more of them. And upper back training, I think the reason people don't adhere to it as much as they should is because you don't get the immediate gratification you get from working a primary mover. The lats are not really a primary mover in any of the 3 comp lifts. So you don't get this immediate gratification if your lift's going up right away. But in the long term, anyone will tell you having a large amount of upper back development pays its dividends down the road greatly, and it's something that's just awful to build back up afterward, like in a late post making this mistake earlier. I myself have gone through this, and so, but everybody told me to do my pull-ups, and I was 160, and I had been training for boxing prior, and I was fucking great at pull-ups. I could bang out like 20 really, really easily, and I'd do my pull-ups every session, but like it was easy, didn't think I was getting anything out of it. And then I realized later down the road, the guys who were telling me about the value of pull-ups were all about 250 pounds. So the pull-up for them was almost a totally different animal. And so as soon as I realized that and started progressing weight on loaded pull-ups rather than simply just doing bodyweight pull-ups for more and more reps, and progressing reps at a fixed weight but adding more than my body weight, I started to see the benefits that these people talked about. So that's something I think is important to realize when you're doing your pull-ups. Like, oh yeah, do your pull-ups every fucking day. Load through a variety of not just rep ranges but weights. You're not limited to only body weight, even if you have to hold a dumbbell between your feet. Other things, I know the face pull has become like wildly popular as like this must do. That's an option. I'm more of a fan of a traditional rear delt fly for rear delt and upper back development. Do your pull-ups. Chest supported row is a wonderful thing to hit after each bench session, and you're really just trying to run up the volume on those. I don't think chasing weights like you would on a pressing accessory is quite necessary on those. Or like I would chase weights on a row, but I would never really chase weights on a chest supported row because it's about getting the quality of motion and the stimulus you're looking for in the quantity you're looking for, not hitting PRs. No one gives a shit about your rear delt fly PR. So it's about executing it in the way that will benefit you. So I think the practical application of this, after all this fucking mumbling, would be make sure you're hitting a sufficient amount of upper back volume without taxing your low back too much after every pressing session, after every pulling session, and take a hard look at your weekly volume where those come out to be. Always ask yourself, could I handle more lat volume? Chances are the answer is yes, and chances are the answer to whether you benefit from it is also yes. I hope maybe this helps someone.